Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how are you today? I'm Faizatul Khomerati Zahra as moderator in this presentation, and I want to introduce my group members are Muhammad, Ferry Arbian, and Laila Nisa Indriani, and we are from English Education Department, Class 2A. So this evening we will do presentation on the course Communicative English Grammar lecture suited Mrs. Nadia Mahmud. And this evening we will do presentation. The title is Article, Adverb, and Verb. So the first material is article will be delivered by me, and the second material is adverb will be delivered by Laila Nisa Indriani, and the last material is verb will be delivered by Muhammad Ferry Arbian. So let's start our presentation this evening with basmalah together. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, this is the first material is article. What is article? Article is a word used to describe whether an object is specific or not. Article coming in front of nouns. Articles are of two types. The first is indefinite article. Indefinite article, a and an, or articles that are used to describe objects or people in general, not specific, so that people who hear or need only know the object mentioned in general. And the second is definite article. The definite article is used for countable noun or uncountable noun. Next, for example, for indefinite article, Sinta has a cat. The cat is white and beautiful. In the second sentence, after being explained more specifically about the colors, the definite of the article is used as the article. Those of us who read the first sentence above are only familiar with the picture of cat. We don't know what the color the cat is, big or small, beauty and ugly, and others. In the second sentence, after being explained more specifically about the colors, the definite of the article is used as the article. Next, a is used at the beginning of a noun that begins with a consonant sound. For example, a boy, a table. While an is used for a noun whose initial letters sound vowel. A, E, O, U. A, E, O, U. Such as, she's an actress. I have an umbrella. Next, indefinite article is used several variations. Placed before the name, nation, and religion the first. For example, Ahmad is a Muslim. Robert is a Christian. He is an English girl. Okay, the second is for an object, countable noun, which is called for the first time. For the example, my sister is a teacher. It is a pen of mine. The third is for an object that represents other objects in the group. That is other object in the group. For the example, a palm tree is usually very high. A cat can catch a mouse. Next, fourth, to replace the word one. For example, I have been reading for 1 hour. I have been reading for an hour. The fifth, a and an may not be used in plurals. A and an may not be used in plurals noun and handshake that can only be held by one person. For example, Mr. Taufik is the captain of this ship. Mrs. Junaida is the headmaster of kindergarten Matlab Ulu. So next, indefinite article a and an is never used to uncountable noun and plural noun. The noun may not need article at all. Zero article. When the object in question is referring to the object type as a whole. For example, cats usually love flower. Milk is very good maintaining our health and fit. For information, curds refers to all curd in general. Milk refers to milk without further explanation regarding the color brown or white, cow's milk or breast milk. Okay, next. Definite article. The definite article, the use of a countable noun or uncountable noun. The following will explain in more detail regarding the use of the article. A. For objects that have already appeared or been mentioned before. For example, Ita has a book. The book is grammar. The second is B. For objects that are mentioned for the first time, but this object can be clearly defined because they are explained in a few words. Okay, for the example, the boy who called you yesterday is my brother. Okay, next. C. For objects that are mentioned for the first time, but the object is described where it is, so that it is known by listener. For example, where is Navi? She is in the classroom. And the D. For object where there is only one, the ear goes to run. For the example is she is always the first to come. A. As used in the front of the name of a musical instrument. For example, I can play the piano. F. Used in front of the name of a river or sea, the Atlantic Ocean. Okay. 3. Use before the name of the land and the name of the mountains in the plural form. For example, the Himalayas, the Netherlands. H. Use in front of the building name. For example, is the Nirana Hotel, the cottage, the school. The definite article shall not be used on a noun that is not specific or located. For example, I like reading books. Cats had water. B. Single country and the mountain name. For example, Mount Bromo and Mount Fujiyama. C. Street name and city name. For example, on Hero Street, in Gresik, and others. D. Season name. Summer, winter, rainy, autumn, etc. A. The name of the mealtime, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and others. Okay, thank you. The next will be delivered by Muhammad Ferry Arbian.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ferry Arbian. Here I will explain about verb definition. Reporting from the Cambridge Dictionary, a verb is a word that describes an action, condition, or experience of something. The verb is the most important part and always appears in every sentence. This English verb is also a little unity of if you think that a verb has to be an action, you are wrong. The English verb can describe a condition. Example, he plays in the backyard with his sister. Action, he felt empty. Condition. Use of verb. In English, we recognize a grammar that can be identified by differences in time zones, starting from the present, past, and future. Due to this time difference, the verb also changes for each condition. Each verb usually has three forms: verb 1, verb 2, and verb 3. The bigger the number, the past of the form of the verb itself. Not only verb 1 until 3, there are also verbs that, that are used to describe an action that is being done right way. Verb 1. Verb 1, present. The first form of the verb is called verb 1 or present. This verb is an infinitive verb that is commonly used in the simple present tense. This verb form is the same as the original verb form, but always ends with the suffix s, es, or ies. For the third person singular subject, he, she, it, in the simple present tense. Example, sleep, watch, watches, go, cry, crying, study, studies. Next, verb 2. Verb 2, past. The second form of the verb is called verb 2 or past. The verb is usually used in simple past tense sentences. When do you use the second verb? When action taken is past, usually the verb is added d or ed to the first verb, but it can also change for the form with the different letter. Word that just add d or ed are known as a regular verb. Meanwhile, changing the letter in a verb is called an irregular verb. Verb 2, example. Example verb 2, regular verb, as if, clean, cleaned, enjoy, enjoyed. Irregular verb, begin, began, ate, take, took, find, found, leave, left. Verb 3, past participle. In fact, the second and third verb are similar. In fact, many verbs have the exact same word in the second form. The third form of the verb is used for the perfect tense and the passive voice similar to verb 3. Similar to verb 2 and verb 3 is also divided into regular verb and irregular verbs. Example, regular verb. Study, studied, studied. Work, worked, worked. Walk, walked, walked. And irregular verbs, go, went, gone. Drink, drank, drunk. Write, wrote, written. Verb in the use of verb that end in the grammar use is the continuous tense that is currently in progress. In usage, the verb form is preceded by the auxiliary verb be, is, am, are, was, were. Example, walk, walking, sing, singing, talk, talking, write, writing, play, playing, run, running, smoke, smoking, take, taking, wait, waiting. Type of verb. In English itself, verb, verb are divided into three types, namely action verbs, modal verbs, and auxiliary verb. Action verb, verb that expresses an action or position. Example, rise. Andrew raised his hand. Will. Andrew gives Randy his pen. Next, auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb, also known as a liaison verb. This word is used to relate a subject to a noun or adjective that describes that subject. Example, we are your new neighbors. Modal verbs, also known as helpful verb. A modal verb is a word that is used before an additional action or verb to clarify or provide additional information regarding the probability or adverb of timing. Example, Celia is capital verb to go to New York. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, my name is Leilani Saindriani and I will explain about adverbs. Next slide. The first is definition of adverbs. An adverb is a part of speech that provides greater description to a verb, adjective, another adverb, a phrase, a clause, or a sentence. Next, please. And the types of adverb. There are 8 types of adverb. Number 1 is adverb of manner. Adverbs of manner mainly modify verbs and tell us the way in which something happens. They form the large group of adverbs. We make most of them simply by adding ly to their corresponding adjective. Example, steadily, happily, bravely, hard, fast, soundly, fairly, etc. Example of sentence, the soldiers fight bravely. The student complete fairly. They start at me curiously. And number 2 is adverb of time. Adverb of time tell us when an action happened, but also for how long and how often. Examples, Goldilocks went to the bird's house yesterday. I'm going to tidy my room tomorrow. I sound silly today. I will call you later. Yesterday, tomorrow, today, and later is the adverb of time. Next slide. Number 3 is adverb of place. Adverbs that change or qualify the meaning or a sentence by telling us where things happen are defined as adverb of place. Example, here, everywhere, outside, far, and around. Example of sentence, John looked around but he couldn't see the monkey. I searched everywhere I could think of. I'm going back to school. Come in. And number 4 is adverb of certainty. Adverb of certainty express how certain we feel about an action or event. Adverb of certainty go before the main verbs unless the main verb is to be, in which case of adverb of certainty goes after. The words that are usually used for adverbs of certainty are definitely, maybe, undoubtedly, certainly, probably, surely, and example of sentence, he definitely left the house morning. He surely won't forget. He is probably in the park. He is certainly a smart man. Next slide, please. And number 5 is adverbs of degree. Adverbs of degree tell us about the intensity of something. Adverbs of degree are usually placed before the adjective, adverbs or verb that they modify, although there are some exceptions. The words too, enough, very, and extremely are examples of adverbs of degree. Example of sentence: a cup of coffee that I got this morning was sweet enough. I totally agree with you. She is such a very charismatic leader. Enough, agree, and very is the adverbs of degree. Number 6 is interrogative adverbs. The interrogative adverbs are why, where, when, and how. They are used to ask questions. For example, why is the garden in such mess? Where is your sister? When are you going to grow up? How can you eat the freezer full of pizzas in Albany? Next, please. Number 7 is conjunction adverbs. Conjunction adverbs are connected by two clauses. Examples of adverbs conjunction are however, consequently, then, next, and still. Example of sentence: life is hard. However, life can be fun. However is a verb is a conjunction adverb. And another example is the market is very difficult this day. Consequently, you need to focus on what works best for our customer. My friend Mark doesn't enjoy school. Still, he is working hard at getting good grades. And the last of types adverbs is adverb of frequency. Adverbs of frequency tell us how often something is done. Adverbs of frequency include always, constantly, continually, frequently, infrequently, intermittently, normally, occasionally, often, periodically, rarely, regularly, seldom, sometimes, etc. For example of sentence is I always do my homework on time. In this sentence, always shows frequency or how often I do my homework on time. Another example is she goes out occasionally. In this sentence, occasionally shows us the frequency or how often she goes out.
Okay, thanks for your attention. And I also ask forgiveness for my mistakes. And last we say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.